Hey, my name's Austin Rogers, and I am well aware that YouTube reaction videos are pretty much the lowest common denominator in the YouTube ecosystem, but something was recently said on an immensely popular channel that it got under my skin.
Before you say, who the heck is this guy and what right does he have to call out my favorite YouTube channel, may I present my credentials? These are they.
Film Theorists, a massively popular channel that garners millions of views per episode, said Jeopardy is rigged. Or actually postulated, is Jeopardy rigged? No. Patently false, it is not. For a channel that portrays itself as incisively researched, any of the things that they postulated could have been addressed with just a cursory Google search, or better yet, asking a past champion. Past champions Alex Jacob and Jason Sterlacci went to Twitter and said, hey, film theorists, correct your... They have not, so I am here to set the record straight. Caveat here, I actually sometimes enjoy this exuberantly over voiceovered channel, but this I couldn't let slide. First things first, Jeopardy is not rigged. Full stop. We'll get into that later, but for the incisive research portion, film theorists should know that Jeopardy is not just on NBC. In fact, it's syndicated. NBC is just one of the many networks that run Jeopardy. It's clearly on NBC and MatPat, the host of Film Theorists Market, but Jeopardy is a syndicated program by Sony Pictures. Thus why it's filmed at Sony Pictures studio in Culver City. Again, it's not on NBC. If only there were a resource that you could have researched to figure out that's on ABC in some markets, NBC in others, yada, yada, yada. It's on ABC here in New York. It's clearly on NBC in his market, but it has nothing to do with NBC. So that is a patent falsity. Fix it. Next. James was nowhere near the first to move around the board. In fact, the very first game in which the bounce was utilized aired the year James was born. Chuck Forrest created the Forrest Bounce, the strategy of moving around the board to both keep other opponents off center and to hunt and pick for the daily doubles. Again, very, very easy Google search could have come up with that. James did not revolutionize the game by bouncing. He revolutionized the game for all those other reasons that you said. Next. When you pointed out that James said Sports 8 instead of greatest sports moments in history for 800 or whatever to unsettle his opponents, that's not the case whatsoever. The producers actively encourage you to use an abbreviated or shortened version of the category names and a shortened dollar value to speed the game along. You've only got a finite time, and the producers want you to get to as many clues as possible. So, greatest books of the Bible for 1000 becomes Bible 1000. It's that simple. It wasn't some overarching strategy. Everyone in the briefing room is encouraged to do that. This is an easily corrected error, thus this is just lazy research. Ask someone who's been on the show. Now, on to the ousting James theory, or as this video says it, rigging the categories in favor of one contestant over another. Absolutely got the betting theory right on James's betting style in that final Jeopardy against Emma. You got that right. If you want to know more about that, you can listen to my podcast, Dink, with Keith Williams and Monica Tew, where we talk exactly about that betting strategy. But thank you for dispelling that last conspiracy that James threw the game. He bet actually perfectly. But what is grossly, grossly incorrect is that Emma's game was catered for her strengths. Not only is that impossible, it's illegal. It's illegal. After the 1950s quiz show scandals, the federal government intervened and created a body of legislature to govern fairness in game shows. This is an easily searchable fact. Notwithstanding that it's illegal, here's why Jeopardy cannot be rigged against James. Again, I hate saying this again and again and again, but if you just asked someone or used, I don't know, maybe Google, you could have figured this out. Sitting down in the morning in the briefing room, in the green room before taping, and again, you did get one thing right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are the tape day schedules. An independent lawyer, completely independent of the producers, per the law, comes in and says the writers have written 6 rounds. One of those, by the lawyer, will be randomly tossed out, and then they will be put into a random order to accommodate for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday's tapings. Now, from the contestant pool, the next 2 contestants to challenge the returning champion are picked randomly right before the episode is taped. Therefore, there is no opportunity for collusion, no opportunity to sort of rig it, and furthermore, no opportunity for the writers to know that the round that they wrote would be going up against the contestant that was selected. There is a firewall between that side, the writers, and that side, the contestant coordinators. Again, no collusion. It could not have been rigged, physically impossible. Now, what could have happened is Shakespeare comes up a lot. Emma knows Shakespeare. Oh my God, what a coincidence. Now, to the next one. Let's dispel this. Does Jeopardy have a motive to get James off the show? Film Theorists says the answer is a big yes. To that I say, are you freaking insane? Why on earth would you want to end a cultural juggernaut? Why on earth would you want to end that kind of exposure? You cannot even buy that kind of exposure. Every single game James plays becomes, is this the one that James loses cliffhanger? Imagine allowing yourselves to have a 200 episode season of cliffhangers. Why on earth would Jay want to start simplifying its questions to give new challengers a better chance? As the video even said, ad buys happen months in advance and advertisers are watching and seeing it, and they are saying, I want to hitch a ride on this brand exposure. High ratings equals higher ad buys equals higher revenue. Thus, let's be honest, the measly incremental increase in prize money paid to James is recouped by a significant multiplier. Let's do some quick math on that dispels myth. From this video's own sourcing, 19,939 average win value over 33 games comes out to 658 and change, whatever. James over 33 games was 2.5 million over 33. Okay, so that discrepancy seems large. Basically $2 million. But keep in mind that Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune combined, there are sister shows, have a capital expenditures of about $100 million and a revenue of about $125 million, thus net $25 million profit. Okay, so $2 million sounds a lot on that bottom line, but what if because of that next year's revenue is at $135 million? I think it paid for itself. There is no reason on earth why Jeopardy would ever say, let's get rid of our best player ever. It doesn't hold up. And I know you have the caveat at the end. They're like, is it just a theory? No, it's not a theory. It's freaking stupid. Okay, I guess I'm done with my get off the lawn spiel. Soapbox over. I just am immensely annoyed that a massively popular channel is going to get millions upon millions of views on spreading what is patently false information. I think, Film Theorists, a retraction is in order, and I think you should probably take these videos down and edit them per the real facts, because otherwise you're no better than Fox News. You're literally Fox News. You are Fox News of YouTube. You're U-News, Fox Tubes. Now, finally, you got a couple things right. You definitely got the game theory right. You definitely brought the Coriat score to light. I didn't even know that existed. Coriat score is the equalized score negating any betting discrepancies, whatever. Whatever. You got that right. But seriously, just fix this. Put your house together. Fix this, fix this, fix this. 95% of it is fucking wrong. I'm sorry I swore there. I will bleep that out. Thank you. For more on Jeopardy strategy and how to play it and what it's like to actually be behind the buzzer, you can check out my podcast with Buzzy Cohen, link below. And I hope to hear from you guys soon. I didn't have to do this video. I literally didn't. You're just so, yours was just so bad. Ugh. So bad. So freaking bad. Thus, no possibility of collusion. No collusion. Oh shit, I just blew that take by saying no collusion. Whatever.